Aha, specularite. And probably our western pygmy blue butterfly.
لدينا في هيئة البيئة أعداد كبيرة من فرق العمل نقوم بعمل مسوحات سواء في الحيد المرجاني أو الشواطئ الجزيرة وأيضا في المنطقة الجبلية، وهذا يعطينا قاعدة بيانات مهمة لإدارة موائل الكائنات الحية الموجودة في الجزيرة.
I'm excited to be here. I've lived in the United Arab Emirates for 40 years. I practiced as a lawyer, but in an earlier life I had training as in natural sciences. I think it's desert white.
Yeah, that's the desert white.
For most of those 40 years in the Emirates, I've explored the natural world and paid attention to animals and plants and so on.
Just wait, there is a jewel beetle in front of you. But to get so close is not easy, because when we go closer, it'll fly away.
Yeah, these things, when they fly, you feel a little bit sorry for them. They're worse than bumblebees. They look like they're not going to quite make it.
Gary, you can see the jewel beetles mating here.
Yeah, that's their favorite place to be, is up top. Benish and I met 12 years ago. It was a good match of talents. We did a major work on introducing UAE spiders. We're also the lead co-authors of a book on UAE butterflies. In a way, Sirah Bu Nair is a very specific microcosm of the situation of the UAE in general. The UAE is at the junction of the Afrotropical faunal zone, the Palearctic faunal zone, and the Oriental. Everything is meeting in general in the country. When you start to focus in particular on the country, Sirah Bu Nair is in an even more specific junction. We walk and we look. You don't know what you're going to see. Basically, our strategy is to look for areas that are more likely to have life, where we see plants and water, but you can't ignore the other areas. We're in a dry climate, and there are going to be animals that are specialists in living in dry, sandy areas, in gravel areas. Oh, here's an RGO.
There are a few here. This is a female. There's a male. Male are very smaller.
And he's vibrating his web.
I saw a big colony of huge RGO spiders, which are native to the mainland and Arabia. Well, that's a big female here, look. I'll just go around and see it closely. Oh, it has got a prey and it wrapped up.
I can see males in both webs.
With that specific spider species, the behavior which we have noticed previously is when the female, the big female, and they make the web, there are about 4 to 5 males will be living in the same web in the corners. So when a female gets food, the female gets distracted, and that is a chance where the male approaches the female without getting harmed. They try to mate with her. I've seen this behavior before, but never managed to, record it. Yeah, Gary, I think we should come here tonight and use the light so the female get a prey and we can see the action of the male towards the female. And that's possible in the night.
Mating can be a difficult experience for the male. We've all heard that the female sometimes eats the male spider.
That's a huge one. So that's a fully grown one.
Yep.
So we should come back. This is a wadi which flows towards the sea, the coast.
We score a dark weevil with gold chartreuse head markings that we haven't seen before. You learn different things about animals and the ecology of an area by studying in different ways. If you walk through and look for things and spend a few minutes, you get information of one sort, very useful survey type information.
This is Afro-Asian hissing snake.
To know the precise habits of an animal through the course of the day, when they'll do what, you need to sit and spend more time with them.
It's a very camouflaged spider here.
Gary, I think this is a different species of link spider which we don't see at all in our mainland. This is a completely different genus. This doesn't look like Oxyopus at all because of the markings.
The shape is different and the behavior is different. Like it is in a very low salt bush. We have green link spider, which is fully green in mainland, and we have very brown ones, but not colorful like these ones.
We always get excited when we see something that looks new or different to us, because in the spider realm, there's always the possibility that something that looks new to us is genuinely new to the area or new to science.
This one is definitely
A new species, so it indicates that
this place is significant.
but we'll look for the possible species found in this region and we'll compare it with this spider. If it's not matching, then it should be a new species. So this is an exciting discovery, yes.
This evening we're looking for huntsman spiders. Huntsman spiders are relatively large, dramatic-looking spiders.
If I think like a spider, okay, I look for food. So I look for places where there are plants, so there's a lot of flora, where the insects are active, and also places where I can hide and ambush on the prey.
It's a huntsman. Oh, exuding. So this is a huntsman area. Big one.
We have the shed skin of a large spider.
This one is Eusparasus genus, but it's a huge spider. It also means that the species is found in a remote island, which is very interesting.
And my understanding is that, like scorpions, for example, they don't come out every night.
Yes.
So you really have to be out and be looking and be a little lucky. We spent about 2 hours looking, but we didn't find any live huntsman spiders. Most spiders are nocturnal, and that includes web spiders. The fact that we see them out by day is simply because that's their home and we're watching them. It doesn't mean they're especially active by day and go to sleep by night. The advantage of going at night is that your light will actually attract many flying insects. And what happens to those flying insects? They get caught in the web. A lucky spider will have more than she can handle.
Let's look at our Argyop spiders. The plan is to observe a female feeding on a prey and the males approaching the female for a potential mating. There's a male here and there's a female here. The female is already having a food.
In most web spinning spiders, the female will be relatively large. The male is much smaller, And several males may hang out on the female's web. And although we've seen the males, we have never actually seen mating.
If the female is not distracted by any food source or anything, if male tries to approach the female thinks it's a potential prey to feed on, so the female will attack the male and will eat the male.
My guess is it's somewhere between 10 and 30% is the chance that mating is going to turn out to be more of a feast for the female.
This is a very good female specimen feeding on a moth, and one of the male is trying to approach from the top, and the other one is also trying from here.
This one I saw edging along the top line. Do you think the males can sense that she's
feeding
occupied
on it.
eating?
Yes, when she is feeding, she's going to roll. And she's going to roll, it makes a different vibration, which makes the male understand the female is engaged already with something. Is this other male moving?
No, the left-hand male is not moving.
The female will sit on the middle of the web, fully alert. If a big predator or any animal will approach, the female will start to vibrate the web. The vibration which made by the female can make it less visible to the prey or a bigger animal approaching the web.
A male spider was approaching the female. The female was also moving towards the male. There didn't seem to us to be anything hostile in the movement, and we were hopeful that we were going to see a mating. The male is only about a spider and a half width from the female. Something went wrong at the last minute, and the male quickly backed off a short distance. The female then backed off as well, and the male went away. Wasn't an obvious attack by the female, but we don't know whether she might have sent a signal by stroking the web in a certain way that alerted the male, or possibly we ourselves did something in observing too closely or moving a light or moving body parts. These animals know that we're there watching when we're watching.
Perfect.
I find great peace of mind just coming out and looking at nature. I have seldom found a detour or an outing that didn't bring something of interest along with it. We found geckos, we found snakes. Those are things that brighten your evening. We also found a ground weevil. So there's always something, but you can't go out with one single thing in mind and guarantee finding it. For me, it was an opportunity to compare an area that is unknown but related to ones that I know, and so it allowed me intellectually to make connections about biogeography. What mainland species make it to a much smaller, isolated island? What survives there? Do they change their ways of life when they move to a new area? I inevitably think about questions like that when I see a place like Bu Nair. As part of our program of looking around Bu Nair, we visited the coast. We were surprised here to see little jumping fish Yes, I saw something jump already. Yeah. All right, well, they're easy to see then.
It's a very interesting habitat.
Yes.
They look like mud skippers for me because I know mud skippers from the mainland of UAE. Mud skippers look similar. They are gobies. They have the eyes on the top of the head where they get 360 vision.
What it probably means is that, like mud skippers, they're worried about attack from the land, and they put their eyes up higher and can see better.
Very interesting to watch.
They're cute little things, just like the mud skippers. The rockhoppers are a very specialized kind of fish. They're specialized to be able to live out of the water, but in an otherwise damp environment. These rockhoppers are always in areas that are catching either spray or directly hit by waves, so that they're out of the water, but they don't dry out. One advantage of being just outside the water is normal fish can't eat them, because the normal fish won't come out of the water. Like mud skippers, they can breathe air to a limited extent if they keep their skin wet. They're fish, they have gills, but they're specialized to also have air-breathing organs. Nature does this sometimes. If you have a problem, you press an existing organ into service.
One of them is feeding on the algae, so they are feeding on the green.
You can watch them going at the algae, and some even perch their bodies. It seems like they're arching their bodies to get a better grip on what they're eating. And so it's possible that their mouth parts are also specialized, not just to scrape algae, but to help them hang on. We certainly don't have cave sites like this on the UAE mainland. There may be a handful.
Bu Nair is very unique because of this environment and habitat. These beaches and the rock cliffs where the turtles and the crabs and rockhoppers live, having an environment away from the mainland and also undisturbed should be protected.
When it comes to preserving organisms and the value of preserving organisms, there are so many examples of mechanical devices and medical devices that have come from studying biomechanics, see how animals solve a problem, and see if we can do it the same way for humans. Studying an organism as simple and entertaining as the rockhoppers can help us do that.